Okay, so I didn't like third edition or 3.5 of D&D, but I did play it some before I gave up on it. I gave up on it when the preview for fourth edition came out, and it's one of the things it said is there would be no bards and no gnomes. And since I was playing a gnomish bard at the time in a game, that made me badly disposed towards fourth edition. But I probably would have bought it anyway if I'd seen it on the shelf. But it was never available in this country. I moved just before fourth edition came out. See, I went to the toy store and bought Holmes Basic. It was sitting on the shelf next to Monopoly and Clue, and I was able to do that. And then I bought Advanced Dungeons and Dragons at Walden Books. When TSR ran D&D, it was available in bookstores and toy shops, but fourth edition was not, and neither has fifth edition been available in this country in the bookstores. So, when they started working on 5th edition and they pretended to ask for feedback from players, I was very hopeful. They talked about how they were going to make it so it would be inclusive to all editions of D&D. So I was really wishing the brand success, really had high hopes for this. But based on what I'd seen of third and fourth edition, I was cautious. So I bought the starter set for myself to evaluate about whether this is something I would give to my stepson as his introduction to Dungeons and Dragons. Because Holmes Basic had been a great introduction to me. I'm amazed at all the detail I managed to fit into that. So I had good hopes that Hasbro would duplicate that success. So let's open the box. First thing that's noticeable is it comes with a set of dice, which Holmes Basic did not. So that's a point in their favor. You get a set of dice. And they're pretty good dice. And then you have a starter set of rules. Okay, so one thing is it's on glossy paper, which is a plus, but the cover is the glossy paper. It's not cardstock like my Holmes Basic book was and my Cook Expert book was. And so I have a feeling that this is going to disintegrate pretty quickly in the hands of teenagers. I'm careful with it, but teenagers would not be so careful. Being in real use. That was one of the things about the Gygax printings first edition is they were made to be books of the ages, and so these books are still in great condition even when they've been played to death. But I have doubts that this is going to last long. But the Holmes Basic, it had all the rules you need to play up to third level in various classes, and it had all the monsters you needed, and all the treasures and spells, magic items. But this doesn't have everything you might need. It's some of the stuff you need, and I tried looking through this, and I couldn't make sense of this. To give one example is initiative. I was looking through this, I couldn't find, here it says initiative. Looking through this, it was really hard for me to find, actually somebody had to point out to me, what die do you roll for initiative? Because I played multiple editions, which they were trying to bring in here. So I'm used to rolling initiative on a 6-sider, but I have rolled it on a 10-sider, and I'm aware that 3rd edition did it on a 20-sider. But for all I knew, they could be rolling on a 12-sider. I don't know. And, I've tried to look at this and couldn't make sense of this. It's failing to teach me this game, and looked through it multiple times, couldn't make sense of it. Okay, so yeah, so we got this. This book is supposed to be the rules, but it's just like part of the rules, not the whole, not everything you need for first through third level characters. Now, the next thing in the box is some pre-gen character sheets. You start with a group of characters. There's 2 first level fighters. They're humans, a high elf wizard, a Lightfoot halfling rogue. I guess rogues are the new thieves. A hill dwarf cleric, and here's the other human fighter. Now it's got information front and back, and some paper that's not glossy, so you can write on it. So, that's helpful, and it does come with a module. And I tried playing as a player in this, hoping that would help me learn this, but there were just too many things that just drove me crazy. Like, at one point, let's see, find this. Yeah, here, the goblin ambush. There was one up on top of a thing, and I got against the wall, and so the goblins couldn't hit me, but then the goblins could. And so I told the DM, well, if they can see me, I can see them. I'll shoot back. And here, there's a place where you have to roll a skill roll to go up the stairs. So, yeah, so it's a sample adventure. The maps are really good. I like the maps, but some of the artwork is not so good. I don't understand why Blueholm and Lamentations and Labyrinth Lord are able to get artists that are so much better than the mighty Hasbro Corporation, who could outbid everybody. Look at that dragon. That's not near as good looking as some of the first and second edition dragon pictures. But the maps are really good. Especially like this picture here. Yeah, here's some treasure and items. And there are some monsters here, but you don't have a full set of monsters you need. Not like Holmes Basic. Okay. There's an index. Look at this index compared to the one I just recently ran for Deep Card Observatory. Okay, so what else is in the box? Well, there's the bag that the dice came in, and here's an advertisement. And what the hell? What's this? Something to make the box have to be twice as big as it is, to fool you into thinking, oh, I didn't notice there's a character sheet on the back here. But yeah, so I fooled you into thinking this set is bigger than it is with that filler. Yeah, so I've had this for years. I got it when it first came out, and I've not been able to make sense of it. Supposedly, they were trying to bring all the editions together, but didn't work for me. And so this was not something I would give to a kid as their first exposure to D&D. Instead, I ended up giving him reprints of first edition. which he wouldn't even open and look at because modern kids, if it's not on the computer, they don't want to play it.